Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. If you're new here, welcome to the platform. If you are returning, welcome back. So, guys, this evening we're going to talk about a few things. One of them, some serious questions for the people who showed up, or were present, or were at Melissa Silvera's crime scene. Good evening to you all. Welcome. Garnet, welcome from Anguilla. Wow, how is it over there? So guys, lots happening. Um I'm gonna show you guys some stuff and I'm gonna give you an account from a historian because sometimes I say some things here and maybe a few people may find issue, maybe wondering could this be really true? Well, I like to call I'm very research oriented. So when I come across things that are very important that I have mentioned here, I like to bring the facts, to affirm it and show you guys that, we don't tell lie over here, so we don't speculate and talk things when I go so. So anyway, the people that you're seeing on the screen here, they're going to be the topic of discussion, as well as we just showed you Melissa Silvera, whose birthday is coming up soon, and her kids won't be spending it with her this year. Such a sad situation. But we'll get into it, guys. Anyway, I don't know if you guys hear the breaking news. Breaking news today, King Charles of England, he has signed off on the Privy Council's order for Jamaica to pay Kartel and his co-accused legal fees, and also, guys, I guess whatever fees were incurred at the Privy Council, they have to pay for that too. I mean, this is beyond ridiculous, guys. I'm sorry, but may I have to say this is beyond ridiculous. So, according to Fox 5, New York today, and this article was written by Lisa Ever. She's always the one at that newsroom writing about, the updating about Kartel's case. So it says here, there was so much interest in the UK Privy Council's decision that the heavy volume of online viewers shut down the courtroom's live stream from London several times. After getting the stream back up and running, the world witnessed the 2014 conviction get squashed. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council has unanimously concluded that the appeals should allow the appellate's conviction to be squashed on the grounds of juror misconduct, right? But clearly, their legal troubles are not over because the Privy Council did not rule that they should be free. They basically sent it back to the appeals court, as we know. So, hold on, guys. So, it was reported now that King Charles approved decision, because everything I forgot to the king or the queen or whosoever they there over in the UK there. He approved the decision um to squash the case with Vybz Kartel, and he also approved the request for Jamaica to cover court costs. Right? So sources told Fox 5 at New York that that Kartel and his three co-accused, despite their big win, their fight to freedom, of course, hangs in the balance. But in a stunning decision out of London, the Privy Council took issue with clear and forceful language, and the document, is here, and where they are that they must pay the court costs and them something there. So me, I wonder if a taxpayer now go pay that. A taxpayer go pay that, guys. You see, this is why these judges, guys, they have to be careful. Because you see, when they go in the courtroom, Judge Lennox, when time they go into the courtroom and they make these decisions without thinking, without following the procedure and the rules, this is the end result. Not only embarrassment, international embarrassment, but also this hefty cost. Electro, what do you think about it? where you say about that little exchange there? Cause you know me like Venetia, but to them me have to talk it truth. Yes. You can call in a little while. The phone lines are gonna be open. You can call in a little while and we can talk about it. So yes, guys, that is the first news item. Jamaica taxpayer, they're going to have to take on the bill of this gross miscarriage of justice in a Jamaica, where a juror who contaminated the jury was able to stay despite the fact that the judge was aware that the jury had been contaminated. I don't know what can go so. It's not rocket science. But in Jamaica, I think some of these judges are very lazy and dismissive of the procedures and the rule of law. And this is what happens. But at the time, if you guys remember, during that time there was an international smear campaign against Kartel by Peter Bunting. And I would venture to guess that that caused the courts to rush to judgment, without following the proper procedure and not allow these external forces, just because they were in government, to, haste them to judgment. Because Bunting was all over America telling people, say Kartel in a prison, Kartel in a jail, and Kartel make the scamming and the crime gone up in the country. So in my view, in my humble opinion, I believe that because of that kind of pressure, remember, say scamming was very high at the time, getting out of control, guys. So with the diaspora, with Bunting and Golding them going into the diaspora, they were together when they did that. At the time, Bunting was the security minister, and Mark Golding was the justice minister, and the two of them did this presentation at the time to the diaspora and made Kartel the poster child for their incompetence, basically. And you guys over here, even though I don't advocate for Kartel nor against Kartel, but what I do is advocate for what is right. And when they did that, I honestly believe that the courts in Jamaica felt pressured to come to a decision. Not saying that the courts pressured the jury to come to a guilty verdict, but I do believe that the court rushed to judgment. Remember, say the Privy Council talk about them basically gave this timeline where they wanted the jury to make a decision on them. That not right, But Jamaica people is gonna have to pay for this because of the dismissive behavior of those who are responsible for carrying out justice in our country. It's their fault. And we must not be afraid to call it their fault. They must learn in the future that when these serious cases come before them, or any case for that matter, they ought to take their time and let justice take its course. So, the next topic you know, guys. I don't know if you see some new poll come out. These polls that, I mean, people, in my view, majority of the people them not really pay much attention to polls anymore. But you all know this man in Jamaica, Dan Anderson. Dan Anderson is probably one of the few pollsters left in Jamaica because Bill Johnson died. The other prominent pollster passed away a couple of months ago too. And so there's not many pollsters left in Jamaica. So recently, a couple of days ago, the news outlets, news media houses in Jamaica, Gleaner and all these people reported that Dan Anderson come out with some new poll. So, you see through me, see what them take polls and do in Jamaica to a politics. I don't really give much credence to polls anymore, but what I was sure to do this time, when I first saw that new polls were out, what I was sure to do first is to make sure I look to see who commissioned the poll. For those of you who don't know, Dan Anderson has sold out, and I say that with no apology. Dan Anderson allowed himself to be discredited because since 2019, Peter Bunting and Dayton Campbell and Mark Golding, they recruited this man Dan Anderson, who used to be a fairly respectable pollster in Jamaica. And Dan Anderson allowed himself to be commissioned and recruited by them, you know, and them tell him them desired result, and him go create and design poll for come tell them what they want to hear. Guys, as far as I'm concerned, pollsters are not supposed to operate like that. Me not say you can't take a one commissioner or suffer of somebody, you know. But when you are talking about a little island like Jamaica, and Dan Anderson is gonna make these men with money, take him and basically recruit him for them pollster from 2019. Every poll where you see where you see the commission, a Dan Anderson they use. You understand, guys? And Dan Anderson do some sitting in a Jamaica where him a part of those who are disrupting our democracy. And a time for people call out Dan Anderson off to stop it. Remember, this is the same Dan Anderson, you know, in come out today, come talk, but not today, a couple of days ago. I don't even look at the whole findings of his poll, but he's basically saying that the government is this and the government is that, and one heap of something. I know what I say to Dan Anderson, you know. I anybody I watch so not saying this, go get Dan Anderson for me. Dan Anderson, you need to go back to the pollster who used to do things that make sense. Bunting and Golding them not have no good intention for the country. So when you are going to allow them to use you, right, and you are going to fall in the trap of this money trap and this wickedness trap with them, you are not doing Jamaica any good. You understand me? And this is the same Dan Anderson who they recruited in 2019. Remember when them go take down Peter Phillips, Bunting them, make Dan Anderson run poll pan Peter Phillips. And Dan Anderson told Jamaica, based on his so-called findings at the time, that Peter Bunting was more electable, and Peter Bunting was this, and Peter Bunting was going to beat that Peter Bunting was going to beat Peter Phillips and then beat Andrew Holness, right? This is what Dan Anderson told Jamaica 1 year before the general election in 2020. And you see what the outcome was? Peter Phillips beat Peter Bunting, and Peter Bunting loses his seat. So you tell me now, Dan Anderson, how is it that where you find Paul now to come tell Jamaica, what kind of sentiment the Jamaican people could have had 1 year before a general election? Say Bunting was going to beat him leader and beat Andrew, and him don't him very seat him lose. This is why we cannot have no faith in these people, because you see money, they make money, make them become some of the most unpatriotic people around here. So we don't want to hear nothing from Dan Anderson anymore. The pool them, with them just pay Dan Anderson for do. Right? We don't want to hear nothing from them. I swear. The days of listening to their polls is over with, because we see they are allowing themselves to be part of this sellout regime in Jamaica. We have to stop from sellout. Leave our democracy alone and make the people them willfully pick their leaders and pick what they want picking at their country where the politics is concerned. You're not too wicked, man. I'm going to show you something, guys. You guys must know this man here. Where am they? You must know Arnold Bertrand, right? I'm going to show you some snippets. I'm going to show you some snippets of an article that Mr. Bertram wrote. It was in 2019, just before the general election. This man is a historian, one of very few and very good historians in Jamaica. And he also was a state minister for the PNP. Guys, you remember Mr. Bertram? He's still alive, you know. Me know say care, man. That's why I said the people have to start calling him out. And this is part of the problem in Jamaica. I try to destabilize our political institution from 2019, and them for stop it now. Them forget call out. So how much I want to remember? How much I want to remember, Mr. Bertram? May show you. And this man is a very good keeper of history. Yes, he's a very good keeper of history. Give me a second, guys. Remember, guys, I've been informing you here about the intention of Bunting and Golding and what them want to do to Jamaica, right? And I luckily I am a very avid reader, and I went and found this article because I know Mr. Bertram to be a keeper of history. I say, you know what? I didn't hear him during those months and year when Bunting them were trying to destabilize our politics. What did Mr. Bertram have to say? Because that had to be documented in history, what they've done. So, guys, lo and behold, me go find that article here. Oh, wait there. See it here. I'm going to want you to pay attention to this. In an article in 2019, Mr. Bertram wrote, "The role of the Minister of Finance." The role of the Minister of Finance. Let me just make sure that I have the date correct. Yes, June 28th, 2019. It was when Bunting first announced that he was going to challenge Dr. Phillips. And he documented going all the way back from 1993. And he come right up to when this challenge took place. So he said Mark Golding The shadow minister of finance has opted for Bunting, his senior business partner, to become party president and prime minister. The constitution gives the minister of finance the power to overrule the cabinet on any financial matter. Bunting's challenge, if successful, will concentrate the power of the president of the PNP, the prime minister of Jamaica, and the minister of finance in the hands of two major shareholders in the same privately owned investment bank. This is totally unprecedented in Jamaican politics and raises the question as to whether or not Golding would be able to maintain the independence that the Constitution requires of the Minister of Finance. Guys, I want you to tell me in the comment what that says to you. Tell me in the comment what this document says to you that Mr. Bertram wrote. Mr. Bertram is an historian and he was a member of the PNP and a member of state minister. When see the conflict of interest, when I try to tell the people them and educate the people them, I tell them say Bunting and Golding only come to obtain wealth, more wealth, and to further their ambition where they want to expand their investment banking business all over the region and all over the world, guys. Uno remember me I try to tell you from how much months now? Hmm? See the historian there. This is gonna go down in our history. What picnic them will love read? I want to know the history of Jamaica and Jamaica politics. Then go and know what happened. So see the man I document it there. This article was written in 2019. So the conflict of interest where them come from DB and G to proven wealth, right? I gave a very descriptive and extensive live broadcast to tell you guys what they are up to. Wanna see now, guys? Make sure so now share this information, Make sure now share that information here to educate the public because them people here, them thinks that they're slick and the rest of we are idiot. See Mr. Bertram talk it there? From 2019. I mean, I could not have said it any better than he did. He outlined it pretty well. He spoke about the fact that Mark Golding, the Minister of Finance or the shadow person on finance, him and him friend are coming upon the people them, you know. I mean, this is very serious. Two of them are shareholders in the same privately owned investment bank. Eh? And the two of them manage to topple and buy a political party, the PNP, for $10 million. So what do you think they plan on doing? You think they're just going to hold it and do good for the people? No, that is not their intention. And we must be smart as Jamaican people and understand what is going on. I don't talk with no water in my mouth, I tell you say. Right now at this point in time, upon the sideline me there. What I mean by that is, me not promote no individual right now. At Jamaica, me a promote. You know what I mean by that? The person who me can trust with the country. Somebody who me can trust with the country. And them me feel like say, for just go and do what them a do until some decent people come on and ready to take the country one way. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, guys, sorry about that. So that is it. I don't need to say nothing more about. I'll give you a little bit more of what Mr. Bertram said. He said, Bunting and the PNP, as Shadow Minister for the Portfolio of Industry, Investment and Competitiveness, Bunting has been remarkably silent. One would have expected him to be far more assertive in promoting the PNP's policy of expanding ownership and entrepreneurship at the base of the society. Instead, he only speaks opportunistically on the subjects outside his portfolio assignment that brings him publicity. During the by-elections in East Portland, while comrades at all levels were making their contribution to that campaign, Bunting's team was handing out his t-shirts and his publicity material. Wouldn't ever hear them attack Mr. Bertram yet? They wouldn't dare. Because them man attack truth and fear and square and a care. The communications challenge. This time around, Bunting's leadership challenge is supported by an elaborate public relations machine, which replicates that of the Prime Minister Andrew Holness. A united PNP could have dealt with the Jamaica Labour Party's multimedia campaign to undermine the leadership capacity of Peter Phillips, particularly in situations where Holness, the young Prime Minister, is now leading us on the road to anarchy. That was Mr. Bertram's opinion. What is most debilitating to the PNP and a major contributing factor to the JLP's standing in the polls is the insidious anti-Phillips campaign being waged from inside the party by the Bunting team. The man said what he said. The man said Bunting is a destruction, not just to his party, but to the entire political institution of Jamaica. Him see it. And that's what he documented. And that is what will go down in history. Bunting and Golding, these two capitalist investment bankers, overthrew their leader and bought their party for over $10 million. And going in parliament as if they understand the job that the political directorates have. They've never done anything, guys, in our politics, right? They cannot, as representatives of the people, they cannot show us what they have done in their constituencies. And I think that it's time for us to start challenging all of these members of parliament. Yes, start challenging them to show the Jamaican people and show their constituents what they have done. They don't do anything. They don't do anything, guys. They have no work to stand on, no accomplishment to stand on. And that's why they're always in a tailspin looking for the next popular leader. Because guess what? Remember them, it's a Peter Phillips never popular. And due to all them never have no political work for sure, them did a pretend like it's popularity them did want. Well, now that's Golding is the most unpopular in the world as opposition leader. Them come and them say, oh, we nobody want a popularity, we nobody want Lisa. Popularity no mean nothing. These guys, they have nothing to show. And I'm glad that I found that article that Mr. Bertram wrote. If you tell them to list their political accomplishments and their political work, this is what you will see, an empty piece of paper, because they have not done anything. An empty piece of paper. Mark Golding cannot list 2 things that he has done in South St. Andrews since he became the member of parliament. Nothing. And I know because I have family and friends in there. I grew up in there. Jungle. They will tell you he hasn't done anything. If you see 2 people put on orange shirt and sit, them just do it because of tradition, nothing more. Likewise, Bunting, and that's why he was voted out. So they don't bring anything to the politics of Jamaica. And I think it's time that the Jamaican people wake up. Time to wake up. We don't have the luxury of regression anymore. We have been on this journey to development for over 60 years, guys. How much longer are we going to suffer our country, our fellow brothers and sisters, and our children and our grandchildren? How much longer are we going to suffer them for? We cannot do this anymore. Okay? The next thing is, make we talk about the Integrity Commission. I know someone will probably see this upload that I did earlier today about the illicit 6. Or the 6. I don't know what I want to call them. But these women, I don't know if this is the norm, where they would stand before the parliament and name out the people and the offenses of these people. So they named some people out, about 6 of them. And there was only one former member of parliament. It wasn't the illicit 6 government MPs that Mark Golding had been telling the country about. Those were not the ones named out, guys. I don't know if you guys saw that upload, but if you haven't, I uploaded it. And my initial reaction is, okay, so we have some people in the country, including former MP, who, did not comply with the Integrity Commission. But do we really need to be standing up in the parliament and using the parliament to name out these people and name out what they've done? I don't think so. I think the Integrity Commission should take a more independent role. Be more independent. If anybody should be naming anybody out, it should be separate and apart from the parliament. Come out of the parliament with that. That is not what the parliament is for. I don't think this is right to do. If there should be charges, I think the Integrity Commission should have the power to be charging people and even prosecute them too. So what does going to parliament and naming them and naming what they've done, how does that help anybody? Or what does that do? All it is, in my view, is playing politics, and it shouldn't be so. I'm going to write a letter to the Integrity Commission. They need to act independent. They need to be an independent body. Me feel so them not supposed to have nothing to do with parliament. Make parliament function in the interest of the people. Integrity Commission have to deal with people who are either following or not following the integrity, rules and regulation and laws of the country. Take it from out of the parliament and stop from play politics with that something before people dead. Yesterday, them woman there, dear so, we are stand up and read out people name and attack what people do. That is not right. That is not nice. The parliament is everybody are looking at the parliament, everybody in the rural line of Jamaica. This not right, man. Go over the Integrity Commission, go deal with it over there. But the other thing is, the Integrity Commission did come out and say that there were 6 parliamentarians under investigation for illicit enrichment. You know, say, over here, so, we're going to be balanced and we're going to talk the truth. So while the names that were called out were not members of parliament or parliamentarians for illicit enrichment, or we don't know, it's still hanging in the balance because RGR, as you can see, they reported it. The Loop News, a few other news media houses reported last year, last summer, and up to March of this year that there were 6 people, parliamentarians, being investigated. Doesn't mean they're guilty, but the Integrity Commission did report that. So that is what Mark Golding has been running with. And I see them do something so desperate, it's sickening. Mark Golding is running with that. Him not have nothing to say about the name them call out in there today. But him been running with that. I cannot stand opportunistic people. If me like you have to be consistent. And you have to be genuine and you have to be fair. That's my tribe. But they did this thing on Twitter where they told all the PNP MPs to put out a tweet saying, I have not been contacted by the Integrity Commission. That's so childish. That's so, I don't know. It's like, it's not even high school. It's so elementary, so middle school. I mean, if you want to play, the people in the government side could have put out a tweet so they've not been investigated for pedophilia, you know. All them something, you know. And they've not been investigated for murder, you know. So grow up. Let's grow up and let's not be middle school and let's not be elementary school. And this is why I say that the Integrity Commission must not put themselves in a position where these unscrupulous politicians can come and use the Integrity Commission to play politics. Prematurely even, because they have not told the nation who these 6 people are. I don't even know why they mentioned it. I don't think it was wise to do so, but okay, they did. So by Mark Gordon coming out every day and talk about the 6 and the 6 and the 6, did they say a 6 JLP or 6 PNP? They haven't said. I don't think so. But who cares? When the Integrity Commission is done with their investigation, we'll hear what happened. But in the meantime, let's talk about what's happening now in the country and what needs to be done. This is the politics that we have to get rid of, guys, in a Jamaica to have a better country. You understand, guys? If we want to truly see a better country, we have to get rid of them people. And tonight, me have just talk straight, you know. One of the people that we need to get rid of out of our politics, urgent, right now, no, is Ian Eales. When we see Ian Eales come do to the lady and her husband and their family to make people go do them things, tell lie upon the people them, and when given a chance to apologize, he said he's not apologizing. The woman had to make TikTok video put out to defend herself and defend her family. So right here now, me hope say the man in the green shirt is from the PNP. His name is Ian Miles. He's an educator, a teacher. And when Ian Ailes and Mark Golding them tried to disrespect him, he said, you know what, I don't have to deal with this. And he crossed the floor. And I think he did the right thing. These are people with integrity. Ian Miles, Councillor Miles, and there's another guy named, what's his name again? I don't remember his name. He crossed the floor with Ian Miles. So I think it would be, not only would it be entertaining for those of us who like politics, but I think it would be good to make Ian Miles go run against Ian Hales in the election. Yes, I think so. I showed you guys the video. I uploaded the video where Hales was accusing Mr. Miles of some things where the man is not even responsible for that side there at the constituency. But Ian Hales with his lies and endangering the people them life. For sure them have no regard for human beings and human lives. So I think it would be very entertaining and also a very good thing to let Mr. Miles deal with him. Get him out of the politics, man. Like, seriously. You can't have people going around endangering the lives of the Jamaican people. That's not right. With so little regard. Now, if them doing that when them don't have power, imagine when them have power, if they do, what they're going to do. Because he was in Hanover, them running with him cannot go back there. So they're wreaking havoc all over the island, trying to get seats. It's ridiculous. I think Mr. Miles can handle himself pretty well. Right? So, I don't know, whosoever responds for the organization of who will be candidate and whatsoever, I think we have to make Mr. Miles go up against Mr. Eels. I think that would have been good. Do not tell me in a comment if you don't think that is a good idea. Who do not think that's a good idea? Because Mr. Miles know how Ian Eels, Mr. Miles know how Ian Eels stay, you know. And him talk out time out, say, you me left the PNP. And the man never stay there in a no argument or fighting with them. Him just leave. And that's what adults do. Emotionally intelligent adults, they're not going to fight and argue with a soul. They're just going to leave and do their thing. And he left and he won. So I think this is a very good idea. Okay? So guys, the next thing now, what I want to talk about is yesterday the day when time them take out Melissa. I one thing I want to ask the people them. The people them will go up a Melissa crime scene the day. Little bit of blood and all of them. You know, say, when little bit of blood come out, come say, she was there and it was a lot of people there and was not a lot of blood and ray. Guys, you see that day there? Nobody at all in a Jamaica, nor nowhere, before that day there, never know. We never know, say, anybody went up to Melissa's yard. We never know, say, there was a scene there. We never know, say, people from the PMP drive them away, go up a Diamond Court, up a wish Melissa live. We never know. For 6 weeks, none of them said anything. For 6 weeks, none of them told Jamaica that the morning after Melissa died, they went up there. They were at the scene. Why was that a secret? Why didn't they tell somebody? Why is it that the day when the autopsy came out and a little bit of blood run out come talk, why is it that everybody was shocked that day saying, oh my God, she put herself at the crime scene? Why is it that they didn't tell anybody that there was a gathering, this big gathering, and this scene up there? Why them never tell nobody? You know what my answer is? They all knew that they were at a crime scene. Yes, guys, they knew that they were at a crime scene. And that's why they all remained silent. They know. And Silvera tells some of them, same kill Melissa by accident. And that's why some of them went to the funeral and sat near to him and gave him comfort. Alfred Dawes None of them, little bit of blood, none of them did not tell Jamaica. Say them was up at the woman yard. And then go up there. None of them not talk say they see her body, but then come out and talk say a little bit of blood did there. And knows then how they see it. None of them not talk say they see her body. Why is it? Why is it that until little bit of blood spoke, nobody knew that there was a gathering, basically an open house at this woman yard after they kill her? Cover up. Major cover up. I mean, not stop talking. Richard Parchment come say him here from the husband say him come find Melissa slumped over upon the floor. And the woman's son find her, you know. Then kill the woman and go away. And fix her up and go away. But none of them not talk say they see her body. They told no one that they were there. No one that there was a gathering up there. So when Jamaica hear now say autopsy and gunshot, the whole of them start get defensive. They're not even acting like they're shocked. They never acted like they were shocked. The only shock that happened, some things are better left unsaid. You hear? When you look on a little bit of blood and so she guilty. She do something. She do something. And in due time, we never hear. It attack and circulate, you know. Been attack and circulate. But if the JCF do their job properly, they will come out in a press conference when they find what they find and come talk. That is a guilty face you're looking at right there. Me not ask Christ. That's the face when the camera zoom in on them at the funeral. That's not a sad face. That's a guilty face. That's not a mournful face. That's a guilty face. And when I take back that over here, so nobody said anything before the autopsy that they were there. Eating and drinking. Yes, so far them I forgot Stony Hill man living now. Stony Hill. And the whole of them find them way. I said nothing. When them hear say a gunshot, silent. Guys, in light of what Mr. Bertram said, go back to Mr. Bertram, yes, sir. In light of what Mr. Bertram said about how unprecedented it is that you would have these two investment bankers and, you know, being familiar with the finance ministry and things like that. He spoke about how unprecedented it is and how there's conflict of interest. Huge conflict of interest. And like I've told you guys, they come with no good intentions. So you see, if Jamaica people give this country to Bunting and Golden, you think you see pauperization yet? You think you see people at street side a beg yet? It's gonna get worse. It is gonna get worse. And if you don't believe me, or if you don't see how it can become worse, lest we forget, Bunting and Golden were the ones who helped take away the people, them assets and them businesses in Jamaica. and funnel it through their bank, DB&G. And when they did that, you know what happened to the people, the victims? Watch this. I soon come back.
Very, very hard to cope with life like this.
After working hard for several years to build his dream house, he was thrown out in an instant, losing belongings he and his family had spent years accumulating. The Finsacked entrepreneur claims his house, which was valued at between $9 and $11 million, was offloaded by Finsack for just $3.5 million.
At the time when the house sold, they said that whole 11 point odd million. And they said they sold it for 3.5, and I still have a balance of 7 point something. Up to now, I don't know if I still owe that money or what happened. I don't know if I have a money in my hand now, if they will come to me for that money, because they say I owe it, and I don't know if it's still growing interest. Because every time we ask for an account, nobody won't give it to us.
Mr. Willis says he ended up being Finsacked because he took a revolving loan from the now defunct Eagle Commercial Bank. However, with the interest rates skyrocketing, he, like many others, found it difficult to keep a pace with the financial demands. Dealing with the emotional toll of Finsack hasn't been easy for many who were forced to start life all over again.
Guys, we have to take sleep and mark debt. You understand? These guys don't come about the people. They don't come about the people. They've learned to be more sophisticated in what they did. Okay? Remember, we're talking about the people them from DB&G. The man that we attack, him sitting them supposed to do in here so. And they sell it, they get it for little or nothing and sell it off for whole heap. So they have changed their name now to Proven Wealth. I've already told you guys that. But it's been a year since Finsack, and so they would have perfected the craft of robbery. And this is proven is what they will use to do their dirty work next. You hear? Whatever they want to say about Andrew Holness, Jamaica go through some rough time, you know, some rough patches right now. Worse the pandemic. Let's not pretend. Let us not pretend. And one thing I want to tell Andrew Holness, don't come out, come tell the people them about everything is great in the country. Stop them something there. Don't come out, come tell the people them about say the economy is doing great. Do not utter them sitting there for out of your mouth, sir. Tell the people them say, yeah, try. Because when you will see, and when Nigel Clark see that as doing great, if the people them are not feeling it, then explain to the people them why they're not feeling it. More than to come out and tell the people them something that is not the reality for them. Don't come out, come talk about the PNP did have the country for 18 years. We don't want to go back at them far place there. Don't come out and tell the people them where the PNP do from 1972. Come here, you know, Andrew, stop that. Talk about the present. Talk about your time in office and what you have done or have failed to do and why you failed to do it. Talk about the future of the country. Tell the people them whether we are going to meet Vision 2030. Stay in the present. I am not saying that you shouldn't tell the people them. So the people them who want to come and lead them, they are deceivers, they are liars, they are destruction. Yes, it's okay. You are not doing nothing wrong. If you tell the Jamaican people them say, when these guys, you know, were in a them bank and sitting, want what they do. You're not going in a deep detail about it. You just want the people them to know the characteristics of those who are trying to come back after the financial meltdown, which they caused and benefited from. That's all you need to say. But don't come out and talk about the PNP didn't have power for 18 years and 1972. Tap them sitting there, brother. And stop from telling people them both say the country is doing great. It's lie. The pandemic mashed up a whole heap of industries across the world, including Jamaica. Be real with the people and tell them the truth. You're not talking to a bunch of 2-year-olds. You're not talking to a bunch of 2-year-olds. And we over here, so we're not going to tell you again. See, my good friend, make a post today. I'm going to read it and tell you because you need to hear this too. How are you there? My good friend, I'm not going to call his name right here, so. He used to be a practicing attorney in Jamaica. And he put out a tweet, 2 tweets this morning. And them man a big man for you. And bigger man for me. But you see, because them have wisdom and their integrity intact, they can talk. The man put out 2 tweets, me stop and read and screenshot it. The first one say, is Prime Minister Andrew Holness working hard to elect Mark Golding as Prime Minister of Jamaica? Holness, rather than performing to shut out Golding, is doing or not doing everything to help him. Is it that Holness too has disdain for Jamaicans? It's a legitimate question. Because even we over here so wonder say if you tired of the work. Because you not behave like say you want the work. You not behave like say you have a country to save. Me don't know how this man advise. I want to tell me how him advisor. Me come out here tomorrow come address the advisor. Because this no make sense. The man put out one other tweet. Me can't find it right now, but the man basically I say you need to get a one PR somebody. And we've been over here, so I say the government need one press secretary. It's like, guys, and so the man come say the same thing. Let me see, I wish I today. See it here. Him said the Prime Minister of Jamaica needs a PR person, but he needs to govern for the poor people of the country. That is all he needs to keep, quote, Bakra far from the center of power and keep Bunting and Campbell from the Jamaican poor. Venetia Phillips can be a good PR person. Me say all who can hear must feel, you know. And that me I tell you, you know. Boy, me I tell you now. You talk about self-defeating. That's the direction Andrew Holness is taking. I don't know if Andrew Holness just not take advice from people or if he is hard. I don't know, they hard they speak to them. Me don't know what cause this. You have these people that tell people them be a lie and I walk and tell be a lie upon the people them of the country. That's how far they gone now. When them sister there's nobody to beat but them lies. That them have and a target citizens or that them graduate gone to know. And you as the Prime Minister, you know, looking at yourself and say make you get one decent press secretary to come out every day with information, with the right and the accurate information. Yeah, they make the man them a tell be a lie and all attack the citizens them a tell lie upon them too. So you see why a lot of people are turned off by the politics, guys. You see? This not it not make sense to me. It not make sense. But we done so peace over here so already, you know, guys. And we not have nothing more for add because you know what? As me said before, it will come down to who can afford to run will run. But what about those who can't? We need to go learn the art of fighting the information war. People will walk and tell lie, tell be a lie. And all you do, you have look one and two blog upon TikTok, one and two look blog upon YouTube, one and two look blog upon Facebook. But when time when you have the real and true mouthpiece of the people, because that is what your press secretary is supposed to be. They're just a mouthpiece for the government. But for the truth, that is your main source of information to the people, you know. Not the blogger them want to put on Twitter and on YouTube and on TikTok. Your main source of information to the nation supposed to be a press secretary. Boy, I mean, I know where you come from. You just can't evolve. You cannot evolve. See, this man I come talking, my friend, I read the tweet this morning, because this man didn't even watch over here, so. Him not watch over here, so. But you see, I hear him say, him need a good PR person. So, one and two, I want to know, never in the comment and make excuses for him. There's no excuse. When it comes down to people who tell lies, if all they have to do is repeat it enough for people to start believing it, that's a no-brainer. I think Andrew will do the right thing, but to jump on every single thing mentioned as it is mentioned looks like it's bloggers or vloggers running the government, so it has to be done strategically. Of course, you're right about that. But no doubt, Andrew only supposed to can look on the situation and assess it for himself. He's 1 year from an election, you know. So all I'm saying about information and communication, that should be consistent. Anyway, that it should be consistent whether election is looming or not. The person who did the responsive information very poor. Some people say arrogant, obnoxious, rude, argumentative. Tell blatant lies to the people, spin things without, merit. You don't want people like that. You want people who make sense. Tell you the truth, guys. Andrew Wallace work hard, you know. He work hard. His biggest problem is he look like saying can't find no quality people for put around him. He work for him salary. Him just cannot find, or I don't know if him just cannot find, I don't know what the situation is. But the people that he put around him in some of the most key positions, it's not working. And I just want to say, when you put people around you to do certain things, them not have to be politically connected. Sometimes you can look outside of the politics because maybe are them the people that will come and do the best job. People who not in the politics and who not tribal. Maybe you need to start looking there too. I'm talking about roles and positions that are, positions where you can put people who are independent. And when you not talk to people in my country, stop from talk about who not talk to Labour right and who not talk to PNP. Talk to everybody. Because remember me telling you, say, if things continue the way it is, a lot of Labour right and a lot of PNP are going to disappoint, you know. We're not going to need the independent voters in my country. Remember me telling you. Anyway, guys, let us see. And the bloggers will twist it around. Yes, of course. You want to have a press secretary. That is so important. Andrew just will not listen. And for that, he pisses me off. Yeah, Labour right, Shirley? All when a lie detector test reveal gold in as evil, then PNP riser twist. Look here, stop front talk about PNP risers. Nobody not pay them, they don't mind. Andrew Holness, if Andrew Holness do what I'm supposed to do, nobody's gonna remember that look a third party. Them is a non-entity, you know. They're not even qualified to be called a third party because they're not politicians. They're just a group of scavengers. I just Andrew all this need for doing work. I almost said doing work, may I talk about deal with the information and communication problem that he has. It's a very serious problem because you are up against a bunch of liars, people who have no respect and regard for truth. And they're disseminating, this information. What are you going to do to stop it? Not stop it, of course, because you don't have control over what people do sometimes, but to make sure that it's not affecting you. And that the Jamaican people are not being affected with lies. So guys, this is it. The situation I know with Kartel and the Jamaica people. If you go pay out all of them the money I know. My grandmother used to say she not pay for what she not name and drink. Right? And she tell you say, don't go get yourself in a problem out the road because she not pay for what she not name and drink. So the Jamaican people them know, because of the incompetency of our judges, some of them, disregard for the law, disregard for the rule of process and the procedure, right? Here we are now. The Jamaican people have to, I don't know how much money they say, no. I'm afraid for look. I don't know how much money, but they say they want their money. Kartel have to go get him money, and Jamaica have to go pay up. God have mercy. Something can go so. Why may I tell you now? Jamaica does not have no luck when time it come on to the people them who are run with institution. We just not have no luck. Eh? Something so simple. They could have made such a stupid decision that's gonna cost the taxpaying people them how much money. Wanna know how much for £1, you know? Dan Anderson must leave the poll business right now. Leave the poll business. Or if you're gonna do poll, low politics. Because we not destroy country. We not destroy with democracy. We not make some look unscrupulous people like give you $250,000 for design poll in their favor. Right? And them no good for Jamaica. Then doing good for Jamaica than Anderson a full time now you come to your senses. Stop from make them Dan Anderson. Stop from make them manipulate you. And from 2019 you make them have you, recruit you and manipulate you for run poll, wanna destroy the opposition party. You help destroy the opposition party, Dan Anderson. You help them destroy it. How can a man call you and tell you say him want you for run poll pan in leader and you go run that the poll Dan Anderson? You know say the whole on a wicked man? 1 year before an election, and a big man like you, a big experienced man like you could tell Peter Bunting say you not run no poll 1 year before an election pan him leader. Eh? You can't make man call you until you say to make you run poll pan him leader. You help mash up the thing too. And you come with this poll. Eh? And you come with more, I must say about 3 poll they make you run. So go so much money, then give you about say $1 million. They make you come run more poll when Bunting, when you come tell the people them say, the poll where you do, Bunting I go beat Peter Phillips or Bunting can beat Peter Phillips. Or he never beat Peter Phillips. You tell the people them say Bunting I go beat Andrew, or Bunting never win his seat. You have to stop them something them, man. We are patriotic Jamaicans. And Dan Anderson, you may not know the importance of the role that you have as a pollster. And every money are good money. Some money are dirty money, blood money, wicked money. And every money you have to take. So stop. Enough for you now. You have helped to destroy our political institution enough. And it's time now for you to stop it. You see how destructive everywhere the money go. Death and destruction. Death and destruction. And you still done on this to make them use you. Eh? You still make them use you. To help destroy Jamaica more. A full-time somebody call you out, man. And I don't give a crap what political affiliation you have, if you have any. Them say you're PNP. I don't, if a laborer can tell me that, me don't want to hear it and me don't believe it. Me go give you the benefit of the doubt and say you're an independent somebody. But the way you move reckless and help destroy a political institution, you have to stop it. And people, don't make them listen tell you nothing. Anyhow, you go make the mistake. Peter Phillips beat Bunting, as safe Peter Phillips save Jamaica. I want to think about that. You see? This man here, the historian, Arnold Bertram, him telling you what you need to know. See there? You can come back, you can screenshot it and read it for yourself. And you see when I talk over here, start telling you about them banking activity and what them a plan for the you see. You understand? And you never see and know say if you no ever put them say them a tapanaris and them a classes too. Them a promote classism. Because when Mark go say, he let me prime minister make me put me tapanaris friend them round me. You know him a try tell you say, him a go step in a poor people head. Him no business we don't know tapanaris him say. Elitism, classism, them come with be ism and schism. So who know that? If we don't make them farm the next government, me don't talk so tonight, you know. Rest in peace, Melissa. Rest in peace, because you see the silence of them. And you see the silence of the police them right now who tell the people them say, them are going to come lock up some more people. And all who help Silvera kill you and bury you. I will never want you get no justice. Remember, justice we say. We not stop talking, you know. You know what we're going to do next? I want you to forgive me one phone number to the people who put up billboard at Jamaica. Because we are going to put Melissa up on one billboard and write the things them on the billboard now. And none of them can't do nothing about it, you know. We're going to raise the money. Anyhow, we don't see nobody else get locked up till then try to cover up a murder. Yeah. We're going to put Melissa's face on one billboard in a Kingston. As a matter of fact, we're going to put it right outside of Parliament. We're going to put she and her children them on one billboard out there. And make the people them know so we want justice for her. And all who know me, you know. No say, when we talk things, we just talk things, you know, we walk, we talk, you know. So nobody feel say, if we say we're going to put her up on a billboard, we're not going to do it or we just attack. Justice for Melissa, right through. Anyway, guys, let me see. Me tell them someone could have called now. Look like you guys enjoy listening tonight more than you do calling, but that's okay. We'll catch up though. We'll catch up, guys. I thank you for joining as usual. Lord Jesus, oh, this coming. Yes. Put the billboard in front of Proven Wealth Apartments. Yes. Jesus, Father, what a good idea. Right, that's the way I put it. And then can't do nothing about it. Remember me telling you that. They have to lift up from this. So. If you put a billboard there, there's nothing them can do to stop it. We want justice for the woman in the two out of and we go kill the woman that try to cover it up and tell the nation about say dead in a sleep and aneurysm and then sit there and quiet 6 weeks when you not talk. When you not tell the nation say when you day up at the woman yard. The whole on the take the whole on the look how far on the drive go way up past Stony Hill. If you go help cover murder and not can tell about so you never did it. And but uno never see no blood and heart. Me say what a wicked dirty thinking set up. No matter me rat pound tonight, you know. Uno too damn wicked, man. The things uno do uno on a boundary. Guys, I will catch up with you. Take care of yourself tomorrow. Have a good evening and thank you for joining.